guys, hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great life. This is, I guess, some sort of bonus video just I had to make just because I just saw Bohemian Rhapsody in theaters with my girlfriend, and it was a really good movie. And I feel like it's the kind of movie you have to see like either in theaters, or if you're at home watching it, you have to have like that surround sound like set up something, because it just felt so like divine, if that makes sense. And the thing is too, like when I walked in there, like I didn't know much about Queen. Like I didn't know the bassist or the drummer's name. Like when I walked in there, so like I just felt like I learned a lot, if that makes sense, just about it. And it was really cool just to see how they came about. And I'm sure there had to have been inaccuracies about the movie. And if there was, go ahead and drop it below. Let me know like what was wrong and how I should correct my perception of the band in terms of like what I saw, if that makes sense. And I know I see my cat back there, so just acknowledge that, I guess. But yeah, I just want to acknowledge some of the things about it, because I love how if the story of how he joined the band is true in the movie, then that's just fantastic. And just so you know, like if you haven't seen the movie, I'm gonna talk about it, so there will be spoilers. So like if you don't want the spoilers, then I mean, if you know the band's history, then it shouldn't be a spoiler, I guess. So I don't know, but I love how like in the very beginning of the movie, the lead singer of the band quit that had Brian May and I think Roger at the time. They're having the conversation in the back of the van, and then he walks up and then gives them the lyrics, and they're kind of like they're not like dissing him, but like it seemed like, well, Roger was straight up dissing him, but it seemed like Brian May was kind of like intrigued. I feel like Brian May, at least from what I've seen, like what I've read about him, how he's like astrophysics, I just everything about him. He seems like a very humble and intelligent person. And throughout the movie, I was acknowledging that through all the conversations, all the interactions with Brian May, he seemed very calm, very sound, and very just like tempered and just very humble as a person, but wasn't afraid to speak up, if that makes sense, which I really liked about just his character. And if that's him in real life too, then that's even better. But yeah, he's I could be your lead singer basically, and then Roger's like, not with those teeth, and I was like, it's kind of messed up. And then he sings for him, and then that's kind of how it all started. And I like how they were just doing these bar gigs or whatever, and it was whatever. And then Freddie has the idea where he's like, yo, we're gonna sell the van. And they're like, what, are you serious? And then so they sell the effing van, and then they make an album, and then the guy walks in on him, hears them, and that's how it all got started. Now if that's true, then that's just crazy. That's fantastic. If they're in the record studio recording and doing all these experimental noises, putting quarters on their drum and whacking it to make that sound, like that's insane. There's just so many things about the movie that like just opened my eyes about Queen, if that makes sense. And a lot of it is like the biggest thing that hit me on an emotional level was just how Freddie, like it seemed like he felt, or they're trying to express that Freddie felt lonely for a lot of his life. Like whenever he was performing or with people, he would speak of it as like distractions from the space in between, from the space and the darkness in between all these like tender moments you have with others. I feel like from what I've seen in the movie and from what I've heard in his songs, he thrives a lot on like human interaction and just interacting with others, and having good experiences. Which I feel like that's what we all kind of are doing, right? You know, I feel like most people generally don't want to be alone for too long, and I feel like that's normal. I don't know, but yeah, and overall I really liked it, and I liked the one scene where he met the person who ended up being his partner for the rest of his life, the rest of his short, life, sadly, after the Live Aid, where he met him at his mansion party or whatever, and then and the guy told him he was trying to be with him. It seemed like Freddie was ready to jump into something, and the guy says, come back to me once you learn to love yourself, and they kind of like left, and I was like, damn, because that's very true. You don't want to get in like a very intense emotional relationship if one of the partners is emotionally damaged, not because you don't want to deal with it necessarily, but just because you have to learn to love yourself before you engage in intimate relationships. I feel like, and that's true everywhere. You have to love yourself. You have to know how to love yourself and how to love others before you can engage in extremely intimate scenarios. Now, when I say you should or you have to, it doesn't mean you have to, but it just means like it's very wise if you care about the continuation of the relationship. I feel like I'm not here to like rant about relationship advice because I'm very young. Like, what do I know? I guess, right? But yeah, it's just the movie was really good, and I really liked it. And I feel like the lead actor, I feel like he did a very good job portraying Freddie from what I saw. And just like the live performances, like at Live Aid, that was just so crazy. And like, if Freddie had that kind of stage presence, that's just insane. Same with like Brian May, same with all of them. Just the stage presence was insane. And I know I'm doing studio reactions right now, and I'm gonna continue to do that. But at some point, guys, we're gonna unleash some of these live performances. The only reason I have not done that is because I want to hear more studio and I want to appreciate the band's sound more and all the work they put into it before I go to live, because I want to fully appreciate how they're able to do these amazing things live, if that makes sense. And I hope you guys acknowledge that. And if you guys would just rather me do live now, then just, I mean, let me know. But I would prefer to check out more studio first. But we'll see. Um, yeah, that's all I said. I mean, that's all I got to say. I just had a lot to get off my chest. At least, like, I had all these thoughts. Like, I was all scattered when I left the movie theater. Like, oh my god. Like, I was like, I need to make a video about this and just kind of like talk about it, because I feel like at least some of you guys will care enough to hear me spew all about this Queen stuff. So with that said, guys, I'll see you guys this coming Thursday with the next Queen video. Hope you guys have a great day.